Hello and welcome to episode 16 of our Pathfinder Kingmaker Ultimate Beginner's Guide series. Starting off here, I'll just briefly sell some enchanted items. I'm doing this primarily to recuperate some of the cost I had to spend on building the Nalmarch's settlement. While we're here, we might as well look through this little catalog here. I do believe we're set to get one of these this episode. And while I could upgrade my shield on Valerie to the Flame Guard, I prioritize something else, so we'll just sell all of that. Looking at our options on who we can bring in again, I think it's been some time since we've seen Jthal in action, so I think I'll swap her in. And the only one that I can really swap her in for would be Ragongar, I believe. Again, Jubilost and Octavia are pretty much interchangeable, so use whomever you prefer. Since Jthal is only level 6, we have 2 level ups to do for her. For level 7 then, we can finally focus on her main weapon choice that she'll use in the future. So we'll go Inquisitor, and we'll get a teamwork feat for free. We will use the following skill points: Perception, Law Religion, pretty much anything we've already gotten ranks into at this point. The good part about Inquisitors is that all their skills are class skills, meaning they can pretty much function as whatever you need them to. Her feats then will first learn the exotic weapon proficiency, and if you watch my Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous guide, we'll use the facade on her. The reason why we're doing this is 1, it has high crit rate, and 2, it is a reach weapon, meaning we can hit people from behind our tanks, meaning ourselves and the dog, of course. Otherwise Valerie or whomever is in the front. And we can also pick up Outflank, though it's not gonna work right now since no one in our party has it, but it will work with Valerie, Amira and Ragongar should they ever take the field at the same time. Our main character will get this at the next level up. I should have gotten it way earlier, but here we are anyway, I suppose. Since we have removed paralysis on our paladin now, we can go something like protection from alignment, or effortless armor. I'm gonna go effortless armor for herself, or maybe even, actually it is for herself, it's personal. This will make it so we are not impacted by our speed from our armor penalties, and it also reduces the armor check penalty, though that's not too interesting. For example, now we're taking a -10 to speed through the chainmail +2 that she has on right now. Level 8 will just be a standard Inquisitor level. We get a stronger on additional use of judgment. Soon, at next level, we'll get the ability to use 2 at the same time, which will be pretty neat. Since Outflanked is picked up here, it will work on everyone. So Jthal herself will get +4, but everyone else will only get a +2. We'll increase strength up to 18, and as mentioned, skills in the things you've already leveled up, and potentially either Arcane or World, I'd say. You could go Mobility or Stealth or even something else. We can learn Cure Light Wounds here for her too. And we can learn Inflict Serious to heal herself. We could get an extra few uses of Resist Energy, which wouldn't be a bad idea. Alternatively, we could go Delay Poison Communal. I am gonna go into Resist Energy, I think. And there we have her then. She'll be pretty good at Perception, and we can even pop the Glasses of Perception on her, so this will go up to 24. Since we just built the settlement down here, we'll want to return to here, the Gnarlkeep village. We'll pick up 2 artisan quests, those are unique things. Then we'll take the riverside along here until we either hit a random encounter or the Lizard Folk village. From there we'll continue traveling along the river up here to the Mud Bowl, so we have the mud flowers necessary for the Swamp Witch's hut return in the future. Then, once we've done that, we'll head up north to the few locations up here, including the Lonely Barrow and other Silver Step locations, but that's still a little bit later in the video. Let's head on to the Gnarlkeep village. Also, since we've just claimed this, we can now also claim this ancient or abandoned laboratory, so we'll head there first. It'll cost a little bit of BP, but it's worth it in my book. We succeeded the problem with the taxes and the general request. This is the ability to level up our town, or rather capital, to level 2. We can rank up our military to 2. This is also pretty useful. Strength in numbers. We got this last time. Gives the general a +1 bonus for taking advantage of an opportunity. Since we're looking at month 8 soon, we'll go through our problems to see if we have to deal with one before that. We have one here. And this one is month 9, so we'll deal with this one first. Let's continue to Keep. The good thing about having one of these villages here, for example, is that if we were to get fatigued, we can rest here for free without needing to hunt. Let's enter Keep. In here then, we have 2 people we want to talk to. First one should be over here to the left-ish. It seems that they are not here yet, or at least not to the left. One of them is, however, this person here. I would recommend having either Lindsay or Jubilost or either or in your party when talking to her. We'll say Jubilost is a renowned scholar, talk to him, and we can just remain silent while they talk. 600 experience, and author wanted, it's done, but we'll also get a quest very soon. Right, we need to talk to her again then. What sort of help do you need? We get a letter to Hasuf, capital business, our merchant there, 180 experience. So the next time we're back at the capital, we'll want to talk to him. I believe Draken, the other person we need to talk to, is not here yet. So we'll go out. We'll want to hit our kingdom button down here. March's settlement. Keep. Similar to Buchan then, we'll want to build. And we'll want to build both Draken's armor shop and also Shineer's shop of exotic thingies. We'll place our longhouse in either of these 2 central ones, a tavern in the opposite one, and our 2 artisan ones next to them. Seems we have to buy a little bit of build points to get this going, which is something I'm willing to sacrifice for. Now we're building both of them, they'll be ready in 10 days. Aha! Ha 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 ha. When you're building one of the workshops, he will appear out of nowhere and we can talk to him. This is big. He'll tell us a story about an item called the Onslaught. There's 3 parts of them. One merchant appears to be in the capital. Spoiler alert, it's Hasuf again. Another is staying at trading post. That sounds like Oleg. And the last one is the Huntress Dumra, which we are visiting the secluded lodge pretty soon as well. This is why I wanted to see if I could pick this up before I headed out. And if you've done everything correctly, the Onslaught should trigger and the merchant's inventories will now have the items. So again, it is Hasuf, Oleg, and Dumra. We'll get at least one of them, maybe even 2 this episode. Checking your journal, if you scroll down, you now have both the 1001 Unquestionable Stories, which is Shineer's quest, and Onslaught. Bring Draken the 3 fragments. Now then, let's head down to the Lizardfolk village. There is a one-time encounter that happens before you enter the lizard village, and it can only happen before you enter it. So if you want to get that encounter, feel free to stumble around until you get it. It will take some time, you might throw in a quick save before going down here. Here the encounter is then. Before we engage, we can quickly go into our paladin and remove the fatigue with a lay on hands. That still takes some time. Walking ahead, you should find some trolls then. There will be 3 of them and they'll start running, and I believe you could be able to catch some of them if you approach from the northwest here, as I believe they'll go this way. So if we travel up here, there we go. And indeed, 1, 2, 3. They're pretty simple, they're weak, and we've already dealt with a few of them. We have Egundeo and ourselves, so we have plenty of acid output. And indeed, as you can see, they're starting to go this way, so if you can approach from the northwest to get the experience from them before they disappear into the sunset, that'll be ideal. You won't miss much. They're worth about... Can we even check in this game? Oh, right, 45 experience a pop. So we have about 135 experience walking here. Unfortunately, I only caught 1. It is what it is. Sometimes it happens. You can try and min-max it, but honestly it's not too impressive at this point in time, the experience. Usually there should be some lizardmen, but I suppose they're gone. Well anyway, let's head inside to the lizardfolk village now. I decided to rest before we enter. As soon as we enter the map, some lizardman will approach us. 135 experience, where's the missing boy? And the rest is just flavor, so I have to go. Alrighty, before we actually enter the encampment up ahead, We can take a right directly from the area here, so there's the encampment entrance. And ahead we should find a few enemies. We might want to consider throwing up a delay poison communal in this area. It'll last 1 hour, which is more than sufficient, as pretty much all enemies inside this map will have plenty of poison, such as this fellow right here. But they are pretty squishy, so we might as well deal with them. There's a thingy coming in handy, poison fortitude save. If we had failed the fortitude save, we wouldn't get poisoned since we have this on. Alrighty, one encounter dealt with, a few pieces of loot, a token of the Dryad here. We don't have a Fauchard for now on Jthal, but this +1 scythe will do, at least for a little bit. Anyway, let's continue. Heading outside to the east towards this water, there'll be a frog bro, and some more frogs beyond as well. Seems we cannot charge them due to these logs, but that should be fine overall. There's actually a fair few of them. One bomb down, unfortunately, because I didn't want to risk taking a hit on Jthal, since she was in the middle of it. On this boat then, there should be a little thing. The good part about having Jthal is she's pretty good at perception. In here then is a dart +2. Not too impressive, unless you're using them. Let's continue. There will be a little gap in the wall up here that we could theoretically use to enter the encampment. But it's basically if you fail these skill checks here and don't want to either save scum or is on Iron Man and you otherwise can't use it. There'll be an additional little entrance right here. So, indeed, we see something. That's the entrance, or an alternative entrance. Before we make use of that or anything else, let's go past it. There's some stuff behind it we can do. Basically, doing the outskirts of this little encampment here is what I'm doing at the moment, if it wasn't obvious. Frogs dealt with, more loot to be gathered, token of the Dryad. We can actually skirt across this side here at the back. You could go all the way around, but since we can do this, we will have another encounter. Sorry for the back camera angles, I can't turn it. It's not a feature in this game, unfortunately. But once we arrive on the opposite side, then we have, well, the opposite side. And a Venom Hodag appears from out of nowhere. It requires a... That's actually pretty damn high. It requires 41 to spot them. But you can spot them with a glitter dust or something else, which would also give you the advantage on surprise round. It's up to you how you want to deal with this. I believe there's two here, one here and one close to it, and right there. But once they hit, you should be able to, well, hit them. We can use one glitter dust to remove their invis, so we'll do this so. We even hit Jthal with the glitter dust, but it'll disappear in 35 seconds, which is fine. Beyond here is a little item we can loot. This one is locked, it appears, since one of these are moving their way. But here's a Cloak of Shadows that we can pick up for free, +10 enhancement, bonus to stealth, and immunity to blindness and dazzling. Jthal is not very stealthy right now because there's a glitter dust, but it's something we could potentially put on Lindsay or someone else, whomever needed to do that little sneaky sneak by the bridge of the Gudrun River, for example. Since it's immunity to blindness and dazzling, it's actually pretty good to have on just for that. So I will in fact put it on Jthal, and keep in mind that it's on there in case I need it for any high stealth checks in the future. Right then, let's circle around to the main entryway. If we checked our map, we've pretty much done a full circle except the actual encampment, and there is an entry over here, as we've discussed. Once you get significantly close enough, you can either diplomacy, intimidate, or also offer some rations. Since the checks have the same DC of 15, we can freely choose any of them, as one, we surpass them, and two, they amount to the same experience, which is 18, I believe. Indeed, 18 experience points. We are taken in to see King Veshket, 45 experience for succeeding a perception check. Good thing we have Jthal now, indeed. She rolled a 20 plus her 24, so a 44 perception roll. That's pretty impressive. Let me ask you a question, friend. Why did your tribe's rattler flee the village? Tell me about your tribe. Who is Stish Shack? Yes. Finally, who are you? Anyway, let's get down to business. Your tribe is holding a human child. I came to take him back. And here we go. If you haven't already made at least one or two lawful options, there's the third one, which should net you an achievement. Otherwise, you can try and persuade them through any of these checks. You should have pretty decent chances at this point in time. So if you don't have the achievement already, click this button, and you are lawful, of course. If you don't, or if you do have the achievement, either of these net the same amount of experience, which is about 45. I'll go for the lawful option. You are unfit to be chieftain, the great ancestor you've placed, la-di-da-di-da. Starting this combat would cause the entire village to go aggressive on you, so we'll just leave. We will come back and have our little revenge on Viscit, I believe, maybe. We'll see. Inside here is an emerald, you can sell this if you haven't gotten one already, a shard of a knight's bracer, and some minor valuables, including a diamond. Pretty neat, in fact. Don't sell this, by the way. Do not sell it. Alrighty, let's explore the lizardman's village then, shall we? Let's have a chat to these people, or let's go inside this hut up here, and also loot the few items there is around the place. Let's do that before we enter. Tuldan warrior tag and some minor valuables. In here, lots of stuff, and a little thingy on the ground. Tusk water oysters, don't sell these. Interacting with Viresh here, we can heal him or finish him. I believe we can heal him, but we can also ask a few questions. Healing him then nets you 36 experience, as would the opposite of killing him. Let's continue down. There's a pen here and some loot. Let's continue and interact with this pen here. There's also this named lizard, Fasher. Inside there's a diplomacy check. You seem to be nervous. What's going on? Something bad is going on. 45 experience points. We can assure him that we don't seek revenge. Depends on how this outcome goes then. Or rather, depends on the lizards. 36 experience. Is the child still alive? He's in the spirit hut. Alright, let's continue. Over to another pen over here-ish. There's a few people we can chat to here, and some edible moss and vegetables you can pick if you feel like it. What are you two arguing about? All of these options are pretty bad, and, well, would net you a bit of experience. I believe this one, well, obviously will attack them. We can suffer one chaotic good. You should think for yourselves. 72 experience. And I suppose we can pick their fields if we want to. Alrighty, just a few more lootables and the main hut then. Let's go over here. Is where we could enter. Yoink. Before we enter the spirit hut, which is this one, you can also check the map to the spirit hut. Let's loot the remaining stuff. Inside here is a trident +1. Not truly impressive, but a few masterwork spears accompany it. And here is some more food. I would recommend you to buff before you enter this hut, as there will be some combat for you to engage with. Since we now have Good Hope, it basically functions as heroism, but for everyone in a little burst area. So it's pretty good. It also adds the +2 morale bonus to weapon damage, where this is all of the above without the weapon damage. Let's pop the Good Hope too. And I believe this should probably be enough. If needed, potentially another shield on myself and a bark skin as well would be sufficient. Let's check to take here the child we're looking for. Who or what exactly am I talking to? Knowledge Arcana, we are guaranteed. Who are you? A ghost, evil spirit. I need to know who I'm dealing with. 45 experience points. Note this sentence here. It's most likely that he's standing near the boy, invisible and controlling the boy telepathically. So, if you leave right here immediately, you could potentially throw in a glitter dust in this area, and you should have a fight on your hands. There's also this option, of course, to do it in dialogue. Release the child immediately, and well, I don't negotiate with monsters. And there she is. Count Shimmerglow. He has glitter dust on him, since we revealed him with the magic thingy. He'll cast shield, and he has a fair bit of AC. He also does electricity damage, or rather touch damage, which is a little bit unfortunate, but with Tristan using positive energy to heal any damage he'll output is a decent idea, since he'll do a lot of damage. So up he goes with the shield, and we can push in. Miss. One solid hit with a Condeo. Since he is evil, we can also smite him. And miss. If you're struggling, use bombs to hit him, since that they are mostly guaranteed to hit. And as mentioned, if you're getting somewhat low on health, which I'm not yet, use channel positive energy to heal any damage taken. One attack of opportunity hit, another hit here from Ekondeo, decent hit from myself, and he's on death's door soonish. All of the attacks missed. Typical. Maybe Ekondeo can finish this? Nope. We know for sure that whatchamacallit Jubilos then can. Blammo. And once that's done, talk to the boy. And, well, you can even look more info on this, but let's talk to him. Thank you, good people, I gotta run to my ma now. He will only survive, and of course make it out, if you have at least made one positive interaction with one of the people around the place we've talked to. So the sick person, those people at the gates, the people standing by the whatchamacallit fence or the pens. Otherwise they will not survive. It appears we also have to face the entire, or rather not the entire, but Veskit and his little sentinels, though we have them on our side at least. Alright, King Veskit dealt with too, and we can loot him for the King Veskit's key. A trident +1 with a little electricity on it. Also able to cast lightning bolt as a 10th level wizard once per day. A hard armor +1 and a natural armor pendant +1. If you fail the chest lock of 37 in here, once you've dealt with Veskit, you should move in and get the chest with the shard of the Knight's Braces and so on. Since we're done here, we still have some experience we can gain technically if we go through here. So let's go outside and wrap around, also complete this area entirely, of course, since there's nothing left here. Let's head on out, head to the immediate right and open this little pathway up here, just over here. It appears this is locked or mutually locked to the main entryway, so we missed a little bit of experience. Anyway, let's head outside to the actual, whoa, what happened there? Head outside to the actual area exit. Since it's only £12, we'll just collect it all. Alrighty then, let's wrap up to the mud bowl, do this. Wrap up here, collect some few resources on the way. Head up to the capital, make our way over to the Lonely Barrow. We, after all, have a few quests related to the capital by talking to herself and also the boy's mother at the capital tavern. So let's make our way over to the mud bowl. I do believe we'll travel up here to the refugee camp. Right here, claim it, and then do it. Head up here, Iron Mine, do it. Blammo, done. We'll be a little inefficient, but we will get a few more areas or paths we can travel. Right, I forgot it's in the Camelland, so it's technically outside our region. Nonetheless, as long as we don't get fatigued, we can enter the mud bowl and do it. This area is pretty simple. Take your people, buff them up, cast Good Hope again on you folk again. Why do you have this? That's odd.
Something bothering you?
Let's also do this and do that. Delay poison, shield of faith, jubilost, shield, and catch grace on dog. And
I'm listening.
you can shield of faith myself and Jaethal, I suppose.
You have my attention.
And a bless from ourselves. A little thing, divine favor.
Just letting the ink dry.
Hey, do I need more? Do I want more? Those are the questions you should ask yourselves. I suppose a barkskin on dog bro. And let's continue. You see all of these mushrooms? There's one enemy on the map. And once you've done that, there you can collect the mushrooms. I believe you need 10 of them. Just collect them all, basically, to make sure. There she is, the Tendriculus, indeed. It's basically just a named shambling mound. He does have a lot of AC, but not too much HP, so a few good charges and a opening round here should make this possible. Well, that was just mean. He just stabbed my poor dog to death. Don't worry, if your pet dies, once you rest, they will come back alive. If I didn't charge with Dog Bro there, he would have survived, as he would have... Actually, no. He would have still hit. Well, there we go. And down he goes. A bit of experience, I believe. Yep, 540 from killing him. And let's collect a few mushrooms. Poor little Dog Bro. Was just cruel. So, collect as many as you can in this area. And you should be fine. There's also a few pieces of loot around. For example, this battle axe, frost battle axe +1. Just scan the area in its vicinity, and you should find all that you need here. Collect all the mushrooms. We have 7 at the moment. That makes 9, 10, 11, 12. I believe it's only 10. So you can look for the last remaining little thing if you want to. Like these 2 up here. Actually... Okay, it is only mushrooms, I believe. Huzzah! I now have 14 mushrooms. I got them all. Pretty sure this map only has 14 mushrooms. Alrighty then, let's head to our next location. It is over here somewhere. So let's make it to here, which is what we know. I mean, there is technically a way here and then this way. I think that's actually faster. We'll see. Otherwise, it'll be a useful little path to get. But first, we're interrupted by 2 manticores, it seems. These guys are pretty much below our level at this point, so we can just fail that, indeed, and get at least 1 manticore pelt for 32 gold, albeit slightly heavy at 10 pounds. There's the bald stones. We'll want to rest before we enter. Alrighty, let's go in. There's 1 enemy on this map, and there's 2 pieces of loot. So let's go.
Our path leads on.
The enemy ahead then will be somewhere in this general vicinity. Right around here. Let's see if we can find him before we start buffing. Right here. Torpor, the Great Nightmare. 14 outsider. It has pretty high AC of 32, I believe. So potentially a good hope would be... Okay, that's actually a bit a big area. Make sure the yellow doesn't actually trigger his thing, or is under his thing. Good hope it up. Cast a shield of faith, and a
What troubles you?
barkskin. Yes, indeed. Up on Dog Bro they go. Bless. And... Well, it depends. Let's get a little bit more easy on myself. Okay, he's moving a little bit. Let's get closer. Until we can see him again. There he is. Dog Bro, get in there. Get in there. You3 or you5 just waltz in there. Potentially resist fire from Tristan would have been nice here, as that is fire damage. And, well, whoops. Yep, 45 damage is a little bit of a mistake. Alright, I suppose we need a little bit more juice. Good stuff, we got him nauseated. Alright, he's finally dealt with. That took 8 rounds. Goodness gracious, what a mess. What a mess. Behind here then, we get a glaive, flaming glaive +2, that's going on Jathal. A full plate, regular one, and some gold. Let's put that flaming glaive on her while we remember. 14 to 18 or 28, 16 to 11 instead of the 13 to 19 at 16s and 10s. One more attack roll, lots more damage, a little bit less crit, but oh well. There is still some loot up here that we can get. It's not too interesting, it's just normal trash. Yoink. And that's that. It should be doable for an 8th or 9th level party, but you might struggle at level 7. At this time then, we can head back to the capital, as going beyond up here into this area will take a lot of time, as this is hills and mountains, and traveling in that will take pretty much double the time. So we'll head on back. There's not really anything too impressive over here anyway, so let's go up north, get some more pathways we can use in the future. Continue traveling up to the bridge, and now we can go to the capital before heading to the Lonely Barrow. So let's do so. 7 additional hours. Let's go to the tavern first to talk to Jenna. In the tavern then, we can head to the back, and if Tick survives, we'll get some stat points and some more experience. Loyalty +3 is only gained if the child survives, which he can only do if you do at least one good action in the lizard village. That's them dealt with. Let's talk to Hasuf. Redrani asked me to give you a letter, 180 experience, and we now have our next objective of heading back to the our little area again. And indeed we have to head back to our settlement in South Nalamarches. Let's talk to Verdel to sell our trash, since we don't really care about his inventory. We can also sell the emerald since we have one in our stash. I have no plans for the dart, the battle axe, or the trident, so that's getting sold too. 7,000 gold, pretty decent, all things considered. And now that I'm looking at where I'm at, it seems I was a bit hasty getting to the mud bowl, as I passed right past the secluded village from the lizard folk. I should have gone, or the secluded lodge. I should have gone down there, bought the onslaught items for Dragon up here, but I suppose that'll have to be fine. Let's head over to the Lonely Barrow. We have time to at least do half of it. Before we make it too far, we have a kingdom event that's done, and, well, Valor is a failure. If you really want to save scum these events, look at the time when it happens, then quick save, and you can continuously load till you get the outcomes you want, as each failure will negatively impact all of your stats over here on the right side. So it's up to you. Some rude goblins wanted to dance, so we put them down. Once we've gotten further into the game, the loot on these people or encounters will slowly start to improve, but in the beginning it is mostly complete garbage, so you can largely ignore it. When it becomes enchanted and other stuff like that, that's when it begins to be worth it. Even if you weren't able to rest before going in, or rather, even if you weren't fatigued / whatever before entering here, I would recommend you resting outside, as this area here is a dungeon. I believe it even has 2 floors, and you cannot rest inside, or rather you can, but that'll require your rations right around here. So that depending on how many times you rest in there, you'll have to have at least a fair few rations to get in there. Since we might as well squeeze as much time as we can claim this coal mine up here. This one was a little tedious to get to, but we got there, and we can head on back. Alrighty, let's get in there. Well, that's actually pretty interesting. You can now freely enter and exit this location as you so see fit. But that was, when it originally released, not a feature. So it seems that they've patched this, added that feature. And here I thought I was gonna make a whole speech about not being able to go back again. You'll see there's a door here. We cannot go this way. We can only go down. We'll find some bandit raiders down here. And a dead gnome, it appears. Fret not, even if you make a deal with these bandits, you can still get their loot. As once you've done a little area down here, something will have happened here, and you'll have to fight some other enemies. Let's walk in then. Get out of here before I bury you all here. Before we do that, who are you and what are you doing? Now we have an even higher diplomacy check. This will result in more experience than the Intimidate check, with a differentiator of actually about 300, so it is potentially worth it, even at the cost of a neutral evil alignment check. We can help each other. Let me go ahead and deal with the traps, and you cover my back. We'll split the loot, half for me, half for you. Deal? And it appears it's a deal. 700 experience, where the normal checks would only net about 400 to 450. Deal. Men, let them through. And through we go even. There's even more experience check right there. On this little gnome here then, there's a melted shard of a ring, the torn book, a piece of nut, a dagger, and a bodily transportations part 3. Buck and book. Alrighty, let's continue. Locked doors to the left and right, but a little glyph down here that we can open. And we now have a new pathway. Let's continue on ahead. There should be a high perception check around here, which is why I prefer having Jthal, who will have about 24, 25-ish perception at this point. It should be here, I believe.
Our path leads on.
How curious. What a surprise.
And indeed, both the wall and this happens. There's also a knowledge world check. This is why I come here at this time, because now we can slowly get better rolls instead of coming here earlier. It is technically available as soon as you do act or enter Act 2, but the enemies in here, plus the checks, both to perceive and to disarm and so on, are pretty high for a level 4 to 6 party, so I recommend coming here at about level 8-ish. So, disarm here and unlock here, blammo. This little column nets you 45 experience if you succeed it. A
Curious.
trap and some things we can loot. Blammo. Blammo. A sarcophagus in the middle.
We march ahead.
And some strange orbs. Let's see if we can get over here. This area is also trapped at a DC of 22. More of just normal potions and scrolls. Let's go down here. Specifically position yourself in a way like this, because there will be enemies here, here, and also here. And once you go back, here too. But that's less relevant. Let's go over here and interact with this coffin here, or sarcophagus, I suppose. Let's first examine the lid. 360 experience. Let's walk around with the sarcophagus. 67 experience. You can step back at any time and interact with it again. Let's see if we can examine the carvings. 360 experience. Let's attempt to slide the lid aside. 67 experience. And, to the horror, the coffin is rigged with scratches and dried blood. Yada yada yada. Enemies. We got some dread soldiers. We've met those before in the Old Sycamore, but they are much less of a threat than they were. In fact, even unbuffed, they are incapable of hitting our dog. And even better, since we have a little Earthbreaker here, we bypass their damage reductions, as all of these would otherwise have damage reductions of 5 to bludgeoning, which is not the case for our main character, since we looted that Earthbreaker from the little area behind the snake at the bridge over the Gundren River. loot the masterwork swords since they're at least worth 100 gold. Everything else is completely worthless until you exit this location. I believe there'll be a few more enemies around here. Maybe? No? Nope, we dealt with that. Let's go up then and see what happened to our bandit friends. Our bandit friend seems to fall over all of a sudden. And now we have greater skeletal champions. Whoa. Whoa. Scary. Charge.
I will see this
Charge.
through. Depend on me.
Kill them. He falls down because the dog bit him. Actually, never mind, he's survived the check. There's also a skeleton arch at the back, which is more worrying. Dog Bro took a little bit of a suffering. We can easily heal that, however, with Jthal, for example, with a cure medium? Light, even. And maybe another, I suppose. I'm being lazy to save on buffs for the tougher enemies in this encounter. Don't worry though, as you can easily rest if you have at least a few supplies in here. Just checking to see if they are masterwork or composite. It's a heavy crossbow +2. That's actually pretty good. And a composite longbow. A small upgrade for Jubilost. Yoink. Now that we've done this little area down here, a few areas have opened. The one to the east or southwest and northwest. But we still have that which is locked, and now we cannot go back anymore. So actually they haven't changed it. It's only if you change your mind here that you can go back. We'll go down the southwest part one first, as this is only a little lootable area, and there are no enemies, only a few traps that we should be pretty comfortable to spot, as we have Jthal in the mix. There it is. 21. We even spotted it with ourselves, which is fun. The only advantage, I'd say, is that we could have brought Octavia instead of either Jubilost or Lindsay for slightly higher trickery. In here is a rune-covered leather thingy, and a bit further ahead, there's both a trap and more things we can spot. Even if you fail spotting it, if you just stay outside of the main area, for now, example, you can loot the rest of the thingy. Let's grab this.
Without a doubt.
And also grab this. Inside here is another rune-covered thing. So there's two of them. This one and this one. Let's figure out what this rune does. This rune spawns a few skeletons, and I forgot that they spawned at this wall. I thought they spawned over here, so I reoriented my squishies close to them, which I have to fix through the turn-based mode. Luckily they are pretty weak, so we can easily chew through them with Akundeo and other folk. And once Dog Bro is initiated over there, we are pretty much done and dandy. I only clicked this button for the sake of a little bit extra experience. If you are afraid of this fight, just leave it be, as it doesn't really net you a whole lot. It's about 100 or so. But experience is experience in my book. You also get 400 golds in terms of the Masterwork Longswords. So let's head up to the other door that opened. Luckily we still have Jthal. Blammo, yoink. There should be a trap in the vicinity, I think. Well, there it is. I spotted two things. That's a bit curious. Oh, right. It is this one here, which is just some... as if acid was poured on it. I wonder what this trap does. Before we interact with this, let's continue up and loot the area. Beyond is a little glyph and also some other stuff. This here is a robe of water, good for not only cold aura, but also grants to, the cold aura gives 2 DC to cold spells. For example, Snowball could be put on Octavia, for example. Let's turn ourselves the appropriate way this time and interact with this. This also unlocks a pathway to a new area, or small area, with some scrolls and other minor valuables. Also a belt of Mighty Constitution +4. Just 4 extra hit points, or a little bit of hit points. Let's deal with this trap here for experience. Actually, this opens this door and should spawn some enemies, I believe.
Our time has come.
Once
Without
we
a
go
doubt.
here, close. Am I misremembering? Could have sworn there were enemies in this vicinity. Oh well, I suppose I'm wrong. Let's go through the new open door then.
Who will guide us?
Oh, there's also some loot up here. Composite. That wasn't composite or masterwork even. Alright. Let's continue. There should be a few traps here.
How
Indeed.
glorious.
One.
We march ahead.
Can't spot the second one yet. And trois. Alright, let's continue. There should be a combat encounter very soon.
Forwards.
I believe here. Yes. Good.
Together we stand.
Bonk, 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 bonk. Kill them. A little bit more damage than I would have enjoyed, but one heal from Tristan, maybe one from ourselves, should patch this up easily.
I really
And
like it.
that was a poor roll. Cure serious wounds. Bonk. There we go. Now then. Don't mess with these archers, by the way. They underestimate them, rather. They can hurt a lot, because they have enchanted weapons, which is not nice. Or rather, they don't, but they will do a lot of damage.
What a surprise.
Another little hidden area. More consumables that you can use. There's a way to the south-ish, and a way to the north. Let's visit this one over here first. It's in the area. Another trap. Let's enter, and you might want to pop into your inventory. Remember this item, Construct Bane. Let's look on it. +1 adamantine Construct Bane. What is Construct Bane, you may ask? Against a designated foe, constructs. The weapon's enhancement bonus is +2 better, so +3 in total. It also deals an extra 2d6 points of damage. So 1d6 plus an additional 2d6 plus 2 from here. So we're looking at pretty respectable numbers. And you could potentially use that on, I don't know, even Jthal. Why am I putting this on here? You'll see very, very soon. You might have been able to surmise that there's a construct. Ho-ho. So that's why I usually keep one of the Bane weapons if possible. This guy can be quite tough, especially on lower lower levels. But since we're level 8, see this here, 15 but to adamantine, which we can bypass with the pickaxe. +30 to hit, and there's 2 of them, I believe. So these guys don't mess around. You might even consider buffing up, which I think is a pretty decent idea for at least this part. Since this is longer duration, we can pop the heroism for free and get good hope when we need to face tougher enemies. With a little bit of juice we have for those curious. 30 AC on Dogbro, who's our tank. 46 in combat, of course. Not the best, but it is what we can get, pretty much. We pretty much just have to overwhelm this guy and the guy behind him, so they don't have too many rounds to hit those high rolls that they need to hit us.
Let us not hesitate.
So let's attack them. We've also swapped Jthal over to the pickaxe, so she can do a lot of damage if she hits. They do have pretty poor saves, so on Lindsay, for example, you could come in here and get a grease going. Around about here, maybe. Actually, let's fix that to... Okay, that's too late. Yep, it's too late. But we at least got one. We got 2 crit hits here, 35, 64, 2, 6. Let's examine those. If we can find them. 64, here's the Demolisher pickaxe coming in crazy huge. 64 crit. Pretty good. It was a double 20. Actually, no, it was only a 20 and another 11. But here's the 2d6 force and 1d6 plus 11 times 4. Pretty good on the pickaxe on these constructs. And there we go.
Without a doubt.
Constructs dealt with. Those are pretty much the toughest enemies in here, honestly. There will be at least one more encounter, but if needed, we can always rest at least once. This encounter here is pretty much guaranteed to go somewhat decent if you have the Demolisher pickaxe and also a grease, as they have poor reflex saves of only 5. There's then a little perception check here.
We need to try
That
something else.
Jubilost failed. Luckily we have more than one capable. He rolled a 1, great. We pick up a Lesser Gloves of Dueling, pretty much worthless for us, but what can you do?
Would you look at
Yoink! Ancient Cyclops coin, fair bit of gold for that. And let's disarm this trap. There's some loot here, or rather things. A little hint, using several natural elements. You may see that these 3 little pillars are, whatchamacallit, active, and this one is inactive. Let's take Ikundayo. Have I made a mistake? Oh, I might have made a mistake. Acid Flash. Oh, phew.
Learn how to use it first.
Well. Oh, that is fucking infuriating. Basically, you have to hit these little pillars here with various cantrips, Jolt, Acid Splash, and Ray of Frost. I only have Acid Splash and Ray of Frost. I don't have Jolt on anyone. So, yeah. It appears that I have to return. Oh, that is so annoying. Luckily, there's not any valuable loot back here. But there is some traps that you can disarm for about 90 experience. Well, that's unfortunate. We'll never know what's behind there properly. Well, we will, but trust me, it's not worth it if you don't have the items necessary to use the cantrips. It doesn't matter what cantrips you use if you use the wrong one, as you can just, I believe this one is Acid Flash, this one is Jolt, or rather Ray of Frost, and this one has to be Jolt then. Since I only have Acid Splash and Jolt from here, and
State your desire.
Acid Splash from here, I cannot open this and get in there. But oh well, let's go the other way and be angry at the game for being annoying. If you wanted to go in there, you needed a mage of any kind, a proper mage, not magus or inquisitor, but a wizard, sorcerer, or otherwise someone able to use basic damage cantrips. We live and we learn, I suppose, yes. There's a trap here going down to a basement. We cannot, even if we do rather go down there, we cannot exit before we've dealt with the rest of this area. So let's disarm it and continue wrapping around. A little glyph here to open this door, and others like it.
What a surprise.
Another trap, yet another behind it. Once that's done, go up to the top corner. There should be a little thing in here.
How
Thank you,
curious.
Jthal. Your mistake, Jubilost. Of all the people, Jthal did it. Thank fuck we have 3 available to do it. Technically 5, but 3 at proper levels. Through this little gap here, there'll be another trap around here, I believe. No, just loot.
What a
Nope,
surprise.
trap. So we'll take Jubilost, stealth, disarm it. Once that's done then, take you off that. Through here, cross here somewhere, down here. There'll be a big boy with friends. This guy here, he will spawn friends. But he himself is the main issue. He doesn't have a whole lot of HP nor AC. But if he hits, which he does at, I cannot see, but trust me, it is bad, because he has a great sword enchanted, I believe, so he will hit pretty hard, pretty effectively. Luckily we still have our buffs up, so we should be pretty dandy here.
Share your
Also
wisdom.
swap over to your main weapon again, since there's no more constructs. He'll summon in a few skeletons around the place, so do be careful a little bit. Dog Bro, get in there. You 5, get in there.
last wish?
There's his friends and a heavy hit on our Dog Bro. He rolls with plus 34, because he's raging and reckless stance. Yeah, so that's pretty bad. we need to probably go into turn-based here, take our little friend, and heal. You could use damage undead, which is the opposite of healing, right here, as they encroach on you, and that's honestly a pretty good idea, especially on these archers, as they can do a fair bit of damage, rather. Archer dealt with, we can now focus our main efforts on the Lonely Warrior. Decent hits, 18 and 21. The game is much easier on turn-based because you can freely take your time doing the best moves available. For example, you can also, okay, next turn I can show it, throw a bomb if you will. I can showcase to you that, for example here, if I were to move, I would suffer an attack of opportunity, but with a right click, you can move and still do your full basic attack, which absolutely obliterates any enemies and gets you out of danger. It is also good to use these short minute spells in this this turn-based mode, but it's up to you the way you want to play the game. Turn-based just takes 17 more years due to the nature of it.
Do not hold back.
Another decent hit. And that's all she wrote. So indeed the golems... Oh, we got more friends? From where? There? Okay. Great sword +2 and a full plate. I suppose we have some more friends to deal with. These guys are less important because they're just... There is one archer, two archers, so deal with them first. Alrighty, once that's dealt with then we can freely loot the area for some various kinds of consumables mostly. Also remember to loot these pricks behind here that spawned. Don't leave the archers hanging for too long because they will do shit tons of damage to your backline and will likely result in a death maybe. Who knows? Masterwork, greatsword +2. What has happened to my log? Never mind then, I suppose.
Forwards.
Let's continue on. We will interact with that knowledge world very soon. In here then, there's a Tolden Stirrup and a Ring of Luck +1. And this is a great axe. Can I please? Okay. With Undead Bane on it. Would have been nice to have a little bit sooner, eh? But maybe you can sneak past it, and I honestly think you can. And if you're struggling to... Are you kidding me, Jublust? And if you're struggling too much, you can try and see if you can sneak past the dude for now and grab that loot over here. It may be possible, for example with the Cloak of Shadows we popped and they vanish, to get this item that's here, which is the Undane Axe. Let's try this knowledge world check. The Lonely Warrior also have a full plate, so once that's done, I believe that constitutes everything except this dumb door that requires Jolt, which requires probably Octavia.
We stand.
But, oh well, it doesn't have anything too impressive behind there. We should now have the ability to leave. Indeed we do. And we will do that. Actually, wait, I forgot. There's this ancient tomb over here we can handle, rather. Let's go down and explore what's going on down here then. Here we are then.
Our path.
A magic little portal of things. Defeat the monsters, get the key from the dungeon. The key is hidden between two rivers falling into the same lake on its shore. Find it and come. The door will open to the strongest. For now, we can't do a whole lot of anything. Technically, this is a quote-unquote speedrunner's strat, is that you go to the Lonely Barrow, then you go and glitch your way through this,
Doubt.
which is easily attainable, as you can see. They scuffle through here, and depending on your patience, you can try and get through there properly. There is a room behind it, and, well, since we're playing it legit though, we'll head back. There's also one brazier on. Anyway, let's head up to the crack in the wall that we entered through. So yeah, if possible, see if you can get that axe first before going in there. This right there, doing the Undead Bane. As we mentioned, Bane is 2 against better, so more chances to hit. And also extra points of damage, plus it's already 1d12 plus 1. So we can easily get some high rolls instead of, for example, the Flaming Earthbreaker. It's up to you what you manage to do. Let's finally leave this godforsaken place. You can technically loot all of this stuff, as it can sell for about 1,000 gold total. It does weigh a lot, but you can travel back to the capital, I suppose. I'll at least grab the armor that's worth 50 gold until you have either medium or still remain in the light category. Also, this half plate could work. You will come back here in the future, for example, for that door downstairs, but until then you can take as much with you as you so see fit. As long as I stay inside the medium encumbrance, I'll be fine. Also remember the composite bows and masterwork swords. So then, that was a long episode. We've dealt with areas that surrounded Nalgi village, headed to the lizard folk village, forgot about the secluded lodge, but before you head on, visit that to buy the onslaught item. Then we continued up, finally dealt with the mud bowl in preparation for our future return to the swamp witch's hut. Then we claimed this flat-topped hill and did a little lonely Barrow dungeon. That also constitutes the end of this video, so I would like to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.